Welcome to this Stronger Olympic Lifting series. In this series of videos, I'm going to be showing you the start of the month and the end of the month and the progression throughout the month of my Olympic lifting training. Now, as many of you would already know, I've been training gymnastics properly for 2 years. 2 years before that, I was doing bodyweight strength rings by myself outside of a gymnastics centre. All up, I've been training rings for 4 years. Anyway, that's developed my whole body tremendously. I've gotten a great physique from that. I've gotten really strong from that, and I continue to get stronger, and I really enjoy that. So that's been great. Now, one area that could have been neglected though was my legs. Now, we've got some shots here of these mammoths. They're quite small. They are quite powerful, however. I'm capable of a very high vertical jump, and I'm capable of riding a bike, running, all that kind of thing, no problems. They're just, compared to my whole body, I suppose, they're out of proportion. So Olympic lifting is going to be focusing a lot on getting them stronger, obviously, to be explosive and powerful in lifting heavier weights. Also, Tyson and myself both believe that the marriage of bodyweight training and Olympic lifting is the ultimate combination of complete body strength. Doing Olympic lifting, you're able to lift a heavy weight above your head. And obviously gymnastics and bodyweight is controlling your own body throughout any position you can imagine. So together, they give you a great overall strength, and that's what Tyson and I really appreciate. Being able to use your body in ways that you haven't specifically trained, simply because you've been conditioned in such a great way. I've never done Olympic lifting before. I only learnt what a snatch was about a month ago when Tyson competed for the first time. So I'm very new to the whole thing, still very unfamiliar with how to even start training, what a typical session would consist of. I have no idea, so this is really interesting because it's going to document me from an absolute beginner up until the best in the world. So I aim to surpass Tyson in just 2 months. I currently weigh 77 kilos. I'm sure my body weight's going to go up because my legs are going to be growing. One other concern I have is, will getting stronger legs affect my rings? Obviously, by getting stronger legs, they're going to get bigger, they're going to get heavier. My body weight's going to increase, and will that extra weight mean that I lose skills like a one-arm chin or the iron cross? Or if instead, when I get those bigger legs, my body will adjust to being heavier and it will just be stronger overall? And I honestly think that's what's going to happen. I think it'd be a bit silly to intentionally not train my legs so that they're lighter to make things like iron cross and planche easier. I think that's a misconception, and I'm hoping to disprove that. While I'll be getting stronger legs, but you'll also notice I'm getting even stronger on the rings. I'd like to thank Ricky and Sarah, who are both coaching me throughout this series. Their advice will be invaluable because without them I wouldn't know what I'm doing. One thing I have been doing is taking it relatively easy to start. I know from rings training that when you start training, you don't want to go 100% right away when you're not really familiar with the form and you're not familiar with the exercises. It's a recipe for injury. Once I've got that form right, I'll start to add more weight and really challenge myself physically. It's certainly been challenging already, but more of an endurance style rather than like an all-out 100% effort style. Also, with the squats, I've only been doing 40 kilos and 50 kilos in those first sessions. That's very light. I'm sure I could do more than that, but it's still challenging. I feel it in the quads, I feel it in my lower back, and so I'm happy to stay on this easier weight, get my form really nice, also get my body used to that exercise, that range of motion, that pressure, and I'll step it up when I feel comfortable. That's going to avoid injury, and it's also going to help me progress faster because my form will be there, and if you've got the right form, you're always going to get stronger, you're going to get the right muscles developed, and you're going to progress a lot quicker than you would if you tried to rush in with bad form. Just a few interesting points from the first 2 sessions, particularly on the first session. I found, even just doing a squat, which obviously targets your lower body in particular, I found that just holding a bar like this in the squat position stretched my shoulders because in gymnastics I never hold anything like this, right? So it's an interesting feeling to get my shoulders opened up, which is actually something I really need because, as we discussed in the Stronger series, my shoulders are a bit rounded forward from all the planche and Maltese and iron cross work, and I need to try and balance it out with more front lever and Victorian. I felt like my posture was better already, so that was a really cool feeling, and I'm really excited to continue that and see if it continues to improve. In Olympic lifting, the majority of what you're doing is pulling, and that you're pulling that bar up off the floor. And what's cool about that is I've actually noticed also on the rear deltoid on my first day, it felt really uncomfortable again, in that I kept pulling, and it's pulling those shoulders, they're wanting to go forwards and I have to pull them back. And in gymnastics, often you're pushing those shoulders down and forward. So it's a complete reversal of what I'm used to. I'm also very aware that my rear deltoid is underdeveloped in comparison to my front deltoid. I've been working on that with more front lever, more Victorian, but I really think this lifting is also going to help in that aspect and get the proportions correct. So I'm really interested to see if I have a physical change in my shoulders, and you can see that the back is getting bigger. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. If you have any questions, write them in the comments below, I'll happily answer them. And if you guys are just about to start your own Olympic lifting training, you can almost use these videos as a template for how to structure your own training.
So my name's Sarah, I'm from Athletical Weightlifting, and I'm a weightlifting coach, and I coach with my partner, and Lachlan has decided to join us for an adventure. He's going to learn how to do some Olympic lifts, so the Snatch and the Epiphanies.
I'm pretty pumped. It's definitely something I need to start doing, because my legs are really out of proportion with the rest of my body. And I've had only one session so far, and there's a lot of technique to it, so I really need these guys to show me the way through it. It's good to have Sarah and also Ricky, who we'll be seeing in a minute. Particularly the Snatch, I was finding it really awkward in a way, because it's a foreign feeling for me at the moment. I'm really interested to document my technique improvement throughout every month.
One of the things that I always sort of say to Lachlan is that weightlifting requires a lot of flexibility, a lot of speed, which I'm sure is also very important for gymnastics. So Lachlan already having quite good flexibility, that's fantastic. We're going to have to work on the mobility with him. I'm really sort of excited to see how he's going to progress, because we're not having to start with getting that depth in the squat, which is very, very important. It's going to be very interesting to see how quickly he progresses, and I think that is going to be quite good.
I hope so.
To unload the bar, that's the easiest way. Today, go from the middle, back time, and go.
You can just do this.
That's good. do a stretch there.
Yeah? Okay, so this one starts here, underneath, and finishing through. Bring it up, close, 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 through, nice and fast, really fast. Bring it up. Why are we doing it? What? Toes, two toes. Use that line. Right, then do it by up.
With this exercise, I was focusing on keeping the bar as close to my legs and body as possible, and at the same time pulling it above my head as quickly as possible. Naturally, you're concerned about scraping your shins, hitting the knees, and hitting the chin. It takes a bit of practice to get close to these areas and still have a lot of power so that the bar shoots straight above you.
Fast. Get in there, but straight legs. Alright, have a rest. While bringing your hips to the bar. Don't worry about
Here, Sarah is teaching me the brush, a technique that allows you to generate power from your hips in driving the bar upwards. You want to contact the bar with the soft tissue just above the pubic bone. If you hit the pubic bone, it can be very painful. Again, this movement takes practice, as there is some natural hesitation as you don't want to be hitting the wrong place with the bar. In the hang snatch, we're putting everything together. I do the same exercise as before, the snatch pull, but then at the top of the pull, you then drop the body and pull yourself under the bar, catching it in an overhead squat position. We finished the session with back squats, giving my monster quads some much needed attention. The yellow weight plates under the heels of my feet were to assist with my limited ankle flexibility, which is greatly developed by doing squats. These are a temporary aid that will be removed as my ankle flexibility improves. There were no clean and jerks in the first few sessions, as Ricky and Sarah focused mainly on the snatch. Be sure to watch the next video that shows my training throughout this first month and some rapid improvements in strength and form.